in 5 simple steps. We're gonna work through compositional techniques to work your way from this to this final image.
My name is Pi, and I'm one of the founders of Lynn and Jersa Photography and SLRLounge.com. We're teaming up with Adorama to bring you a new series of photography tutorials called Master Your Craft right here on Adorama TV. So let's dive in.
What's up, friends? My name is Pi. Welcome to Adorama TV. You know me, let's get straight into this. I want this to be short and sweet. We're talking of a technique that we like to call composition stacking. What this means is before you take your shot, you can get to a much better place, a more creative image by simply stacking different compositional techniques. I'm gonna show you how it's done. Let me go ahead and introduce you to our fantastic model and dancer. This is my friend Sabrina. We will link her up. You guys can give her a follow at Sabrina Miko on Instagram. Now I'm gonna start with just placing Sabrina right here in front of me, and we're just gonna start with the standard walk-up shot. Basically, this is just not thinking much about composition. So I have on my A7R4, I have the 70 to 180 Tamron f2.8 lens. Really great lens. Kind of a good lens for when it comes to like bang for the buck. Like the value and the quality that you get out of it is fantastic. I'm at 1/500th f2.8 and ISO 200, and we have this tendency oftentimes to kind of approach a scene just like this one, and I love that. You're going on point. We're gonna do the same thing when we do the other shot, okay? This is our before shot, what we call the walk-up shot, where we're not really thinking too much about really anything other than just taking a shot of our subject. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the first compositional technique, which in this case, I'm gonna say is gonna be backlighting. So number one, we're gonna backlight our scene, which basically just means that Sabrina's gonna step onto this side, and I'm gonna shoot going this way instead. Okay, that's great, Sabrina. Right there, turn around, look at me. I'm gonna brighten this up in post, so I'm just gonna keep the same exact settings, so that way we have like a simple before and after. Now, if you just compare that basic shot, just one compositional technique of backlighting, we already have gotten to a much better place, right? And also keep in mind that there are other things that we thought of, like shooting f2.8 is gonna blur out the background and whatnot, but we only have one technique here. What we're gonna do is build onto that. I have here a little train track. Now, normally we don't shoot on train tracks, but this is probably the only one that is okay to shoot on because it's a baby train track. This is one for little kids here in the park. And what I'm gonna do is have Sabrina come towards me a little bit, and we're gonna use the train track as sort of a leading line that leads into our subject. And that's great right there, Sabrina. But I'm gonna do it from a standing angle. So now we're building in technique number 2, where we now have a leading line that leads right into Sabrina, okay? And she's also backlit. Now we get even a bit more improvement on the shot. But the other thing too is if I get down low, I can exaggerate the leading line, and I can also make Sabrina look like she's taller in the frame. Once again, I'm shooting at 70 millimeters on my lens. I'm gonna get down low. She's gonna go on point. So notice again, we have another improvement. So getting down low, using this as our leading line, that's basically our second compositional technique, right? The third thing that I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna push Sabrina into the brighter spot in the frame. So notice, if she walks backwards, we have this spot where the sunlight is kind of poking right through and adding a lot of light to that spot. Our eyes are naturally drawn to the brightest part of the frame. So if I can place my subject in the brightest area and shoot into it, I get an even better shot. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing, and notice that I'm not the one that has the difficult job here. She does. Okay. Perfect, right there. Beautiful. Now again, this is our third compositional technique, and once again, the shot steps up again. So putting that light on her makes her pop from that scene, and it looks fantastic. Next piece, I'm gonna do this. And by the way, if you're not working with a dancer, just do regular portraits. It looks fantastic using the same techniques. What I'm gonna do for step 4, so this is the fourth compositional element that I'm adding, is I'm backing myself up because I'm on a telephoto lens. So what I'm gonna do is use the length of the lens to compress the background. What this does is by zooming into like say 150 or 180 millimeters, I can kind of make it look like the background's coming closer. I can make it look like we're getting more of this leading line and exaggerate the depth effect, okay? So I'm gonna go to right here and just make sure I'm happy with this spot. And yeah, I love the way that this looks. Okay, we're gonna go down, right there. Beautiful. Okay, relax. And again, comparing that to the last shot, we've improved the composition once again. We have this beautiful edging on her. Now we don't see any of the background distractions or anything. We just see these beautiful backlit leaves. Now we get to the fifth and final compositional technique, which is basically just our posing. And if you can, build some action into the shot. Depends on who your subject is, of course, but at least pose them. They could be sitting, they could be standing, whatever you'd like. For this, I'm gonna add action to the scene, and let's see what we get. I'm a firm believer in demonstrating your poses, because it's tough to like take someone through what you want them to do using just words. So I like to show, my subject. You'll see me doing that kind of stuff a lot. Sabrina, what I would love for this is I want to get an action shot now. So this is our final, final image. I want you to go on point. I can't really do a point. I don't have my point shoes on. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to go for the kick. Ha! Like that. Let me show you again. Ha! Okay. You try to do almost as good as that and it'll be a fantastic image. It doesn't have to be as good. It's impossible. I'm gonna close this one out sitting. Why? Well, it's comfortable, and it's probably the last time I'm gonna be on a train track, so. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and this approach to kind of building a stronger composition. If you go back and you look at that before versus our final images, you can see how much stronger the composition got with every step of the way through composition stacking. Take this, make it your own, show me what you got. I wish there was a way to actually post your images to YouTube, but there's not, so comment below, let me know what you guys think about the video, what questions you might have. I actually read all your comments, and I get lots of ideas from them. I also do my best to reply to each of you. Meantime, you guys can give Sabrina a follow. We'll also link up all the gear that we used in the description of the video. We'd love it too, and it helps me out, if you actually like the video, subscribe to the channel. That way Adorama knows that I'm doing a good job, and I'll see you guys back here, same time, same place next week. Oh, and you can follow me at PieJirsa, if you like. All right, peace.